What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, this is not going to be a happy episode of Joe Winko Talk, it's going to be a sad one, but I felt like it was something important to talk about. This episode of Joe Winko Talk is going to be about a girl named Desiree Dreyer. She was a 16-year-old cheerleader who lived in Amelia, Ohio. I mentioned her before in my episodes of Joe Winko Talk. I mentioned only briefly, though. Never really talked about her that much, but I did mention her name before. Here's a picture of her right here. So that's Desiree Dreyer. So, I learned about Desiree Dreyer back when I was 15 years old, when I was being bullied in high school really badly, and that's how old I was when, so I told you this was going to be a sad and depressing episode of Joe Winko Talk, but that's how old I was when I attempted suicide from being bullied when I was 15 years old. But before that, I was reading about Desiree Dreyer online because I was reading about people who had committed suicide from being bullied. And I learned about her from a memorial video that I watched. I'll have the link to it in the pinned comments so you guys could watch it. But the video stated that she suffered from depression. That's what it stated. That's what the video stated. But she was also being bullied really badly by people who claimed to be her friends in high school. And I kind of connected with that too because I was being bullied in high school really bad. The thing I learned in high school is that you really can't trust people at all. Like, someone will pretend to be your friend, and then later on you hear from someone else that they were talking about you behind your back or bad-mouthing you or judging you or spreading rumors about you. That happened to me all the time back in middle school and high school, and it's really not a good environment, and it really wasn't a good environment. But what I saw in this video, the memorial video for Desiree Dreyer, they said that the students would pick on her really bad, and they would throw things at her during class. They would throw empty water bottles at her, and at night they followed her home from homecoming, and they threatened to beat her up at her house. They followed her to her house and they were threatening her, and they even chased her into the girls' bathroom saying that they were going to beat her up. And one time they followed her to a restaurant one day and they were threatening to beat her up, and she had to call 911 with her cell phone. Now, the thing about that is, I myself never experienced bullying that was that extreme, but the thing is, that's a crime. Following someone and stalking them and then threatening to beat them up. And, I'm very curious, were any of these girls prosecuted for doing that? Like, there's no way to know for sure, but I'm very curious if they were prosecuted for doing that, and I really hope that they were. So, you may think it's not ordinary, and lack of better words to describe this, for like a pretty blonde cheerleader to be bullied in high school. But the thing is, those people, like people who are really nice and people who have a lot of good things going on in their lives like that, those are the type of people who are very likely to get bullied. And it's really sad. And that was the thing. People were bullying her because they were jealous of her and jealous of everything she had. The video also said that she was a very nice person and she was always nice to people all the time. And I believe it, really. And it's really messed up that people put her through this and were tearing her down like that. And what happened was, she ended up committing suicide in January of 2006. And I felt really sorry for her because Desiree Dreyer reminded me of one of my childhood friends I knew back when I was living on the west coast of Canada. she looked exactly like him because she had the blonde hair and the blue eyes, and they also died the same year in 2006. He wasn't as old as her, though, but I never really had the guts to talk about him in an episode of Joe Winko Talk because it's too depressing to bring up, really. But it gets worse. After she passed away, a lot of people felt bad about what happened and about what she'd been through. But the thing was, there's an article about her on this website. I'll have the link to that in the pinned comments too. It says that the school tried to brush it under the rug and people weren't allowed to talk about her at all or memorialize her. Students weren't allowed to take off for her funeral, and there were students wearing bracelets with her name on them. They weren't allowed to wear those in school at all. That's what the school told them. And some of the kids had Desiree Dreyer's name written on their car in memory of her as a memorial. And the school told them they were not allowed to park in the parking lot if they had her name written on their car at all. And I just felt that was really messed up that they were trying to forget about her. Because as you all know, I post tons of stuff on YouTube and I have like my name on like all my videos. And the main point of my channel is for people to get to know me and get to know what's going on inside my head and everything. But also another point is, so if I ever end up dying, well, eventually I will, so people don't forget about me at all. Because I just think being forgotten is the worst thing ever. And it's just messed up, like, because she was being bullied, she was going through so much pain, and people put her through so much pain. But then after she passes away, they try to just forget about her and sweep her under the rug. And that's why I wanted to make this video. And that's why I wanted to visit the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park and film a video at the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park so people remember her and so she's not forgotten at all. So, getting back to that, there's a memorial park that they set up, that's dedicated to her. It's called the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park. And I remember when I found out about it and I was trying to figure out where the memorial park is, it was actually one of the places I've been wanting to road trip to. I didn't list it on that map, but it's in Ohio, and it was one of the places I've been wanting to road trip to. The thing is, when I went to Google Maps and I typed in Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park, nothing showed up, and I already read about everything else, about like the school trying to sweep it under the rug and everything. When I saw that nothing showed up, it was like, it made me sad. I was like, what? Did they get rid of the park? Why did they do that? And I was upset about that, but I thought about it some more and I was pretty sure they didn't get rid of it. So I tried asking online, like, where is the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park? One person told me it's in the Braxton Park subdivision, and no one knew the exact address of it, but they told me like a general area of where it could be, so I had to go online on Google Maps and find it. And I was looking around that area, the Braxton Park subdivision, and then I saw something somewhere, like, it's near like kind of like a cul-de-sac. I saw like an empty space and it looked like something was there. It looked like a jungle gym, and I zoomed into it. And with Google Street View, you guys know about Google Street View where you drag the yellow symbol and you put it on the street and you're able to see around the street. I put that down and right away I recognized the block there that has the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park, and that's how I found it. And I just remember being so happy that I actually found it and that I actually had an address and that I actually knew where it was, because I did not want her to be forgotten at all. And I didn't want anyone to forget about her at all. And I actually I tried adding it as a location, the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park on Google Maps, but I'm not exactly sure if it showed up. Like, it shows up when I look it up, but I'm not sure if it was actually made public. If anyone could try typing that in, the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park, and see if it actually shows up as a place and let me know if it shows up, I'd really appreciate that. But even if it doesn't, I know the road it's on. It's on Beechwood Place in Amelia, Ohio. That's a small town in southern Ohio, near Cincinnati, Ohio. And the thing is, I actually did go to the Desiree Dreyer Memorial Park last month. It was cold. It was cold there, so I didn't really stay for very long. But I did go to the memorial park, and I did show it on video because I wanted people to know that the park was still open and that it was still up and running. And I wanted people to know where it was, and also I wanted people to not forget Desiree Dreyer because she deserved to be remembered. And another thing is, I want people to stop bullying, really. People in high school really to stop bullying. Because the thing is, teenage years are they really are the hardest point in someone's life. Really. And life is hard enough without tearing each other down. I don't know why they feel the need to tear people down, bash on them, and hate on them. That really should be a time for people to come together and unite and help each other, really. It shouldn't be like that. Really. And that's another point I want to get across, to stop bullying, because the consequences of it can be really severe. Desiree Dreyer is deceased now because of this. I know suicide is never just for one reason, but I know for a fact that was a major reason, because her life was miserable because these girls who were bullying her. And I'm really curious to how all those girls felt after she committed suicide. Seriously. But some people are sociopaths, and they don't care about how their actions affect other people's feelings at all. Like throwing bottles at someone and bashing them, and they don't know how much suffering they put someone through. That's why, if you see someone get bullied, like, you don't have to go in and confront the bully. That'd be really nice if you could, but some people are afraid of doing that. Just report it to the teacher or something. Just report that you saw someone being bullied, because that shouldn't be going on at all. It shouldn't be. And another thing that would really help, like, for example, when I was being bullied in high school, one thing that would have really helped me if someone just walked up and said, don't listen to those bullies, they're just hating on you because they have low self-esteem, they don't feel good about themselves, they see something good in you, that's why they're tearing you down. That will go a long way if someone's being bullied and you tell them that. Because in all honesty, that's true. Because that's why they bullied Desiree Dreyer, because they saw something good in her. She was a cheerleader. She was really happy. She was on the cheerleading team, and she was nice to everyone, and she was pretty. That's why they were hating on her and trying to bring her down, because they were jealous of everything she had. And that's what I wanted to say about Desiree Dreyer. And I wanted people to remember her and not forget about her at all. And I have a video of me at Desiree Dreyer's Memorial Park, and I also have a video of me visiting her grave. She's buried on the other side of the river in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'll have the link to that in the pinned comment. So rest in peace, Desiree Dreyer, and don't ever forget her. So that was it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. I'm not sure what else to say, but it's just really sad and really unfair how cruel people can be. So, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. And don't forget to say a prayer for Desiree Dreyer and to wish her peace in the afterlife. And that's it. Peace out, people.